steady yourself for this one because I'm going to get a little bit vulnerable. My speciality for this podcast, I'm going to be talking about how I feel about my looks when my doubt is really loud and why it comes up for me. Welcome to No Rest for the Vivid Business podcast. You can see how I just sort of stumbled through that introduction like, get to the end of it. My name is Claire Hill. I am a self-belief and business coach, and I'm the queen of unstoppable self-belief. And before I carry on, I would love, this episode is an important one for me, and this is why I'm sharing it. I'm going to go into a bit of a story, and I feel like a lot of it might resonate with you. If I know you as well as I think I do, I think that this episode is really going to resonate with you. So I'm going to share why redefining beauty, basically, and how we see that as men and women is very important to how we show up as leaders, entrepreneurs, and business owners. Okay. So I'm going to dive into that. Now, before I do, if you are listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, either of them, or actually, if you're watching anywhere, if you're watching on YouTube, I would love you to go and rate this podcast. Now, if it's on YouTube, you just have to give it a thumbs up. Easy peasy. If you are on Spotify, it's really easy. You literally just have to click the stars. Hopefully you say 5 stars. And then if it's Apple Podcasts, it's similar. And if you want to go, another step, you could even write some words. But I see the statistics, and I see the statistics on this podcast. And I was looking, and we've only got, I think, 28 ratings on Spotify. And I know so many of you listen. Now, that is not me dealing out no shame, if that's how the cool kids say it, I don't know. But it's a way for this podcast to grow. And I just want to say that I am so grateful that you've chosen for my voice to go into your ears today. And I'm going to deliver the value for you. It's going to be like a lovely comfort cuddle and a cheer lead-in voice. A cheer down of the headphones or however you're listening to you. I'm going to deliver that. And just to say thank you, if you can just go and rate, I would be so happy. And even better, if you could share this podcast episode with someone that you think that needs to hear it. I'm thinking about a friend right now. I think she knows who she is, who listens to the podcast, who I believe will really love this episode because of what I'm going to say. It's dark and I'm looking around the office. Well, the spotlight I've got is literally caning my eyes. Anyone else say that? Caning. Not that you can't reply to me, can you? But, let's dive in. So last week or the week before, actually, I saw a reel and I literally started crying at it, where it was this beautiful woman laying on a sun lounger and she had a bikini on. She had hairy armpits. It's important that you know that she had hairy armpits. And in this reel, she says, what did we have to be taught to know that this, as in her body, is more, and she's a curvy girl, gorgeous curvy girl, is less, no, hold on, that all of that is less important or more important, than this. And then it sort of clipped all of these amazing experiences that she has in her life. And then in the caption, actually, I think I screenshotted the caption. So let me just find it for you. So I know exactly. I actually put it in my favorites because I was like, I need to remember this. There it is. How your body looks is so much less important than the life you create living in it. Zoom out, baby girl. Baby girl thing I don't really like, but basically zoom out. And it really made me think about how my self-doubt shows up when I am dysregulated. Now, as you know, and I think I need to do a whole episode on this, I might have already done one. If someone could message me and say, Clay, actually, you haven't done one on that about nervous. I don't think I have, making a do you know what? I'm going to disrupt the plan the next episode. So wait, the one I'm recording straight after this, I'm going to talk about nervous system. I really need to write that down somewhere, don't I? Hold fire, my loves. This is the beauty of not being scripted. Somebody was talking about a scripted podcast the other day and I sidelined myself. Hold on. I forgot what I was going to say. How's it? Nervous system. Nervous system meaning feeling. And I was talking to someone about podcasts being unscripted, and there's somebody I know who's just launched a new podcast and she doesn't script her podcast, and they're so good. And I said, never, ever script again. And although I know sometimes I do go off on a tangent and you have to stay with me. I do look back round and I get there in the end, but I feel like when things are unscripted, how much more authentic. If you know me in real life, you know that that's what I do. So anyway, and I also fidget and need to cross my legs. Okay, I've crossed my legs. Namaste. If you're watching, you know what I'm doing. Okay, where was I? Never since. Okay, so I have just had 10 days off and I made a mistake and again, this is what my doubt does. My doubt goes, everything is really good, so you don't have to do that shit. And some of my clients, I pick it up and I go, you're not doing your CEO stuff because things are good. You wait for your doubt to use that against you. And this is what my doubt did. So September and October for me were crazy busy. I knew they were crazy. That's why basically I had most of August off. Obviously, July and August, I was walking around on crutches. And I was just like, oh, I've forgotten that I need to tell you some news. Well, should I tell you right now? Yeah, I will. Okay, really quickly. Sorry, I'm really sorry. Number one, I ran 5K on Saturday to raise money for prostate cancer for Movember. Thank you. I can hear you saying, well done, Claire. Thank you very much. Because, I mean, if you've been listening to the podcast, you listen to those July episodes where I cannot move. Thank God for physio. And thank the Lord and the universe and whoever you believe in for Couch to 5K. Who's your preferred woman voice? I love listening to Laura. Hi, I'm Laura. I love her. Love her. If anyone knows Laura, tell her I love her. And yeah, I've completed Couch to 5K, did 5K on Saturday, and I cannot believe that like 4 months ago, was it 4 months? Yeah. Literally 4 months ago, I injured my calf and I couldn't walk on it for 6 weeks. Basically, in probably about 10 weeks, I've been training for this 5K. I'm so happy for it. Also, when this episode goes out, it will be common knowledge if you are on my socials, but I am in the finalists for Business Coach of the Year. I know. All right. Let me just say this again. I am a finalist in the National Awards, the National Coaching Awards for Business Coach of the Year. Maybe that's the sentence. Let me try again. I am a finalist for Business Coach of the Year at the National Coaching Awards. And by the time this episode goes out, people will know about it. But right now, today, I haven't really been told to be able to tell anyone. So that's why I wanted to tell you. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Thank you for Suze Lake for nominating me. Thank you to all my amazing clients and Suze who gave amazing testimonials that went into the application. So, my God, I can't believe it. Got to go to a posh fancy dinner. Okay. Right, back to the loop. So I'd had a really crazy couple of months and I'd let slip my admin and CEO because they were really good months. Like my business is booming, things are working really well. I am so aligned in my identity, my services, my business model. I am smashing it. I really feel like I'm smashing it. Just invested in some coaching training to go alongside with what my mentors do with me. I'm feeling good. And I'm really proud that I've invested that money in myself because if you don't invest in yourself, I had to wait a little while. And then I knew like something went in my gut and I was like, that's the program. That's it. So I'm really excited about it. And yeah, so all of those things. But what happened was I was back to back with client meetings, went away with my husband for my wedding anniversary, and I didn't have any time to get on top of the CEO stuff. And even though cash flow, this is the thing, right? Cash flow, brilliant. I've got money in the bank. Lovely. Hallelujah. This is epic, celebrating. But I didn't know exactly how much money was my turnover and what was my tax. I'm a really good girl and I put my tax away. And I also have reserves. So I was like, this is how my doubt, I've been in my business where I'm going, doesn't look like there's much money to pay myself this month. What am I going to do about that? Shit myself. And then if you've got the pep talks, you know what I say when the sales aren't coming in. They're £7 at the moment, by the way. Link in the show notes. They are the pocket pep talks. Little pep talks to get you where you need to be as quickly as like less than 10 minutes. Stop that spiral of doubt so you can go on and be magic. From like their magic voice notes from someone who knows what to say to you to make you feel better. Just that is the key to them. Anyway, so in there, sales. So for me, business is really, really good. And then, but because I didn't know exactly, it started the doubt spiral. And then because I was off work, I didn't put any makeup on because I don't want to wear makeup every day. Like, this is my human face. I'm still working up the courage to do podcasts with no makeup on, and I am going to do it. I will. But I already had makeup on today. So I was like, I'm not going to take it off to do the podcast. So it's on the agenda. And I just started really beating myself up. Now, I was due on my period as well, but this was about a week ago. And I came downstairs to my husband and I was really crying. And my doubt was just saying to me, you are so ugly. You are minging. You're really fat. You got loads of wrinkles. You look really old. Your teeth, blah, blah, blah. Like all of these horrible things. You've got a big chin. Now, there was this one kid when I was 15, this bloke, right? By the way, don't peak too early. Okay? If you're the hot stuff when you're 15, you're peaking too early, mate. He peaked too early. Don't look good now. Thanks. I haven't seen him in years. I don't know. Anyway, that absolutely contradicts the whole point of this podcast, which I'm going to say in a minute. But he said to me I had a big chin. And I was like, have I? And that was it. I've got a big chin. Somebody else, big nose. Like, honestly, it's ridiculous how many things people, like these horrible things that kids say to each other, especially when you're teenagers. And so all of these insecurities came up for me. And I came downstairs and thanked the Lord for my supportive husband who, because I talk to him all of the time about how my doubt works, and I'm really lucky. Like, over time now, he gets it. When I first started going out with him, well, when I didn't even understand what was going on in my brain, I didn't really share my deep, dark thoughts. I just held them in, and they manifested and became like horrible spider web rankness in my brain, like interlocking and staying there. And that's that's another whole podcast about what used to happen then. But now he's like on it with what's going on for the business and my mindset. I can say to him, I can't bear with my doubt. This is what I said. My doubt, while I was crying, you don't need to hear my crying voice, do you? No. My doubt is telling me that I'm really ugly. My doubt is beating me up and telling me how hideous I am. And he's like, what? What are you talking about? And it just was, saying it now, I really was really, my dad was being very, 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 very horrible to myself because my nervous system was dysregulated, because I hadn't kept up with my cash flow, because I'd been really busy, because my dad was like, you're busy, you don't need to worry about it. And this is where it all links to. Like, it is safer for me. It's berserk that this is the case, but it is safer for that part of me, and it's probably the same for you. In my doubt, it is safer for me to beat myself up and hate how I look than it is to go, you're really doing good at the moment. And that's just showing, like, I really think if you've been through the mill like me, and especially if you've got a difficult relationship with a parent or both parents, or you're like me, like difficult relationship with a living parent and the other one's not around because he passed away, like having like anchor of unconditional love, I feel it. Like, even now I'm nearly 41 and I still have these like big black holes of like, am I lovable? Yes, I am. Like, straight away. Yes, I am lovable. I am loved. And there was something that I saw, and this is a side note, and really not how I want to define the beauty, and I'll come to that in a minute. But I was watching the Twits. Twits are out on Netflix. I mean, it's not the Twits, but I suppose it is if you've watched it on Netflix. And the great line about being beautiful, you'll always be beautiful. You have the happy and beautiful thoughts coming out of your head, is something like that. I can't remember exactly. And Mrs. Twit is ugly because of all of the horrible thoughts they both have. I was watching the film, and there's an orphan, and she says, I just hope that maybe if I do all these great things, and my mum or my dad or, whoever will come back and I'll be worth loving. And then this monkey says to her, it's part of the, it's part of the story. If you've read the Twitch, you know about the monkeys. Though there's no birds, and I swear there's birds in the real one. But the monkey says to her, like, you are loved. And you were always, it was nothing to do with them, like nothing to do with you, why they left you in the orphanage. And this is the thing, like with the difficult relationship I've got with my mum, it's not me, even though it feels like me, it's her problem, even though that's a really difficult thing for that little version of me to understand. So not to have that, sometimes I can be, and this is my story and it might be different for you, but I can be really hard to myself. My dad, when it's roaring, it goes straight for the looks. And I was like, "Look, I can't get like, this is putting a stop on my business." And it had been, I think it had been, like, bubbling away throughout October. I do a private podcast in the Business Club, and I said, like, "I'm really finding it difficult to show up and share my podcast reels because I'm, like, really over analyzing how I look." And I wanted to share that because, and then it just sort of, like, manifested and got a little bit worse than that over the week that I had off. And also I was resting and I hadn't finished everything. And for me, I'm really good at resting now and I know that it's productive, but I do have to finish what I'm supposed to have done, and not having that CEO work done was really impacting me. And I thought, I cannot do this. Like, I can't be showing up and supporting people, though, that I'm here to share my journey as well as yours, and the difficulties that I'm having, even though I am the queen of unstoppable self-belief, but that's the whole point. Unstoppable self-belief is holding your self-belief at exactly the same time as feeling the doubt. And I was feeling the doubt and I was like, right, where this unstoppable self-belief, I need to find a solution. What is the solution to moving through this and learning from it? I was like, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to redefine what beauty means, because I know I'm not classically beautiful. Probably I saw that Tina Turner once said, oh, I'm not classically beautiful, I'm attractive. And I was like, yeah, that's me. Yeah, I'm not classically beautiful. But you know what I am? And I know what you are, and everybody, actually, anyone with a good heart. We're magically beautiful, because our beauty, this is where I'm going to get emotional, but beautiful people are not classically, well, they can be both. But when you say someone is beautiful, it is not because of what they look like. They are beautiful or handsome or, like, what I know men listen to this podcast, whatever you want to say for that. I know that when I meet these people, it is not about what they look like. It's about how they make you feel. It's about the joy and the love that you get to put into the world because of the choices and the thoughts that you get to make. And I realised, I was like, I've always been that magical version of me, my magically beautiful version of me. But what I didn't have was understanding and self-awareness that all those reasons why I thought I might not look nice, or, when I'm saying it, it sounds ridiculous because it doesn't even fucking matter. It doesn't matter about how you look or whether you define, like, what the fuck is ugly? Ugly is an ugly heart and an ugly soul, like a nasty person who, that's ugly, isn't it? It's nothing to do with how they look. It actually makes them look ugly, I suppose, if we think of the twits. But when I think of beauty, I want to know that it's not about how I look. It's about my heart and the joy that I want to put into the world and my mission, and knowing around me that people are just doing their best and I want to support that. Like, where I've got my office, it's in a up and coming part of Kent, and it's had a really bad rep for the last few years. And my office, like, when you step into my office, obviously not this one, 'cause this is my home office, my studio. When I step into that office, I feel so bougie. I do really feel like this is the nuts. Like, this is my office. This is part of the vision I have. And outside of it, it needs work. And everyone knows the local authority is working on it. I'm working on it with the local authority. Like, I've today been delivering as a part of a new project all about it. And I was like, but when I drive through there, all I get is a sense that people are just trying to do their best. Like, it comes over me in waves. Like, when people, all right, say they're drug addicts or they're, drunk at 8 a.m, why do you think that is? Because they've got demons and they've got trauma that they're dealing with. How can we just not see that? What if they are really good people and they're just trying to do their best? And this is how I want people to see beauty. I don't want it to be about how you look. If you look a certain way and it makes you feel something that you then get to give somebody else, like I'm feeling vivid today, right? I love my outfit today. I've got a new hair tong and I'm obsessed with it. I felt really confident, but it's not about that. For me, gave me the power to then give people those feelings, but that just amplified my magical beauty, that joy and that kindness, and how I just see you and I want you to do, I know you're doing your best. I know you're doing your best. And I don't want your doubt to make things harder for you. That's why I teach self-belief, because I was talking to my sister about this, and we were talking about my plans for my business and scaling. And I was like, there's this big belief that's come up for me. And I shared it with her. And I said to her, and she was like, "Oh, I've got this thing where, talking about me being, I'm a bit of a control freak." And I was like, "But the reason that you're like that and why I'm this belief that I've got is all about us trying to get safe in a space in our lives where we weren't get safe anyway." So it sort of contradicts itself. I mean, that conversation needs a whole podcast episode. But the point of it was, I said, thing is, Jen, my sister, I was like, you're still going to get paid, even though you want to do that mindset work. You need to find the capacity, but you're still going to get paid. When you're a business owner, if you don't do the mindset work, you don't get paid. You go up to that next level and you need that support to get to that next level, that mindset shift, that shit that you've got to face, that shame and those shadows needs to be faced because they lurk. And if you don't face them, you're not going to get to that next level. And that's why I had to face these horrible thoughts and horrible words I was saying to myself head on, to be like, I'm not available for this anymore. Do you know what I'm going to decide to do? I'm going to decide to myself, when I look in the mirror, God, you're a kind woman. You got so much joy. Do you know what? You're so enthusiastic. But I mean, my hair did look good today, so I'm working on it. But I did get up this morning and be like, hey, you with all your joy, you get to go back to work today after half term. Get in. Not that your grey hair's coming through, innit? Look at those fine lines. You know what I mean? We get to choose. You get to choose what you say to yourself. And if your doubt is getting loud, this is probably a sign you are out of your comfort zone and you are growing, my love. All you feel is that courage that you're activating to get to the next level. And I just want to say, I'm so fucking proud of you. You are brave enough to be courageous and take yourself to the next level. So sit with yourself, make sure you're nice and regulated, all about the nervous system. Like I said, I'm going to do a whole episode about this, which is going to come next week. And I want you to just be reassured that even the best of us, the ones with the great mindset like me, we all have wobbles and it's normal. It doesn't mean anything about you. You're not inadequate. You are here to do amazing things and you're here to make fuck tons of money. And if you want me to just get into your ear and talk about specific things like when cash flow's a little bit slow, when you're stuck in comparisonitis, when I can't even remember. Let me tell you quickly, the fireworks are going off at 6:15, for goodness sake. My dog's going to be going loopy. I've tried everything for my beautiful little Shih Tzu poodle. She's a shit poo. Sorry, bear with while I find them. Pocket pep talks should be in my shows. Why is it not in my shows? There we are. Okay, so we've got one when you have to trust the void, when there's a great big gap in your business, like you're waiting for clients or sales and you're like, this is a little bit squeaky bum. When things aren't happening quick enough, when you don't feel enough, do you want it enough? Using enough there. Like when you're sitting there thinking, am I failing? Am I failing? When you get a big fat no, when it feels like no one believes in you, or there's a typo there, need to sort that out, for God's sake. Stuck in comparison, cash flow challenge, and there's a little introduction. So though I'm adding to it as well, I'm going to record once I finish Supersonic, which the price has already gone up by the time you listen to this. So sorry, but I'm Supersonic, almost finished, ready to go. So if you want to dive into that, oh my God, Supersonic is the best thing I've ever recorded and created in my life. I'm going to be talking more about Supersonic. I'll probably talk about it in the next episode. But where am I? Get pocket pep talks. I'm going to add to it. And they really are a really good way for you to have short, sharp support in the right way to get to where you need to be. And if you want to dive deeper into self-doubt and really understand why your self-doubt roars at different times when you're trying to do a great big thing, you want to create unstoppable self-belief, like proper create unstoppable self-belief and embody that next version of you in a much shorter space of time. Get Supersonic. Supersonic self-belief covers all of that and more. Okay, my love, just a quick reminder to like and follow and stars. I've asked a lot of you today, but I hope I have delivered. Let's redefine beauty and make it all about kindness, joy, love, hope, ambition, encouragement, support, cheerleading. Just let's zoom out, hey? Let's zoom out, baby girl. Right, my loves. See you in the next one. Thank you so much for listening to the No Rest for the Vivid podcast. Written, produced and hosted by Claire Hill, and music has been composed by my brother, Phil Vick.